Thank you for the opportunity to present a potential new digital marketing strategy for St. John, New Zealand that seeks to connect the organisation with vulnerable communities. Our team has highlighted what we believe to be essential points for reference and discussion. We love the work St. John does in the community and felt privileged to be able to support you in your work. Our aim, as we understood from your briefing, St. John aims to build resilient communities through education, information and access. Your aim is to provide equal access to training and support that will prevent the need for emergency services, ultimately save more lives. St. John care about people. St. John has indicated a desire to connect with Māori communities. You have identified that this is an area that you are serving and acknowledged historically this has been difficult. Our aim is to help build a bridge in the divide of access to services that can help. We will take you through what we believe is a unique value proposition, digital marketing strategies to support this proposition, critical discussion, and finally, our recommendations. St. John, New Zealand is a trustworthy household name through its emergency services. With its Māori responsiveness unit that holds the cultural knowledge and emergency training skills, we believe the unique value proposition is to be able to facilitate the development and delivery of New Zealand's first aid training for Māori program, a Whina Tuatahi. The first aid training for Māori program would remove many barriers and ensure the appropriate tikanga is woven throughout the program. This will support Māori to live long, healthy, happy lives. So why do Māori need their own first aid training program? In Aotearoa, New Zealand, Māori represent 16.5% of the total population. Māori have a shorter life expectancy than non-Māori, a 7-year disparity. Many Māori are living in deprived neighbourhoods and the median income for Māori is just $24,300 per annum, much of which leads to data poverty and digital deprivation. Not only do Māori live shorter lives based on the data, but are dying at almost twice the rate of non-Māori. Hospitalisation rates requiring ambulatory care for Māori aged 0 to 4 from 2010 to 2014 was significantly higher than non-Māori. Some of the key barriers for Māori are marginalisation and inequity, low incomes and deprivation, cultural understanding and intelligence. Human-centred design thinking considers the desirability, feasibility, and viability for solutions to problems. The issues discussed shows it's important to consider the perspective, circumstances, and journey for Māori. Developing and providing a first aid program specifically for Māori by Māori will ensure Te Ao Māori is encapsulated within the program content. That should be developed by the Māori Responsiveness Unit, potentially with a subgroup of advisors who can provide cultural knowledge and understanding into the program content, how first aid encroaches on tapu, sacred areas, and how this can be applied in an appropriate way, how Te Ao Māori connects with hauora, wellbeing, and how first aid can support this. This program will also honour the Treaty of Waitangi principles of partnership, protection and participation. One of the key barriers for Māori participation in first aid is cost, based on their financial position. For this reason, we propose the program is fully funded. For the purposes of this proposal, we have highlighted an overarching strategy that comprises of two facets to meet the objectives discussed. At a high level in the green, relational marketing. Relationships will need to be developed in the development of the core content and funding proposal for a first aid training for Māori program to be fully funded. Key relationships will include funding organisations such as the Ministry of Health, Te Puni Kōkiri, and potentially other Māori health organisations. Simultaneously, alongside this process is the development of the program, which could include a strategic advisory board. But for the purposes of this proposal, we are focusing on a targeted digital marketing strategy in the orange for such a program. We believe this specific program will hold more weight and success for Māori participation in first aid training. In particular, we are focusing on two groups: youth and young adults. Let me introduce our two personas. Rangatahi Sam is an 18-year-old Māori living in Hamilton with his kuia. He works part-time at a local supermarket and is studying part-time, learning te reo at a local Māori organisation. Sam is active on TikTok. Whaia Maya, however, is a 31-year-old mama whore working at the local kohanga reo where her baby attends. She lives in Beach Haven, Auckland, and uses Facebook regularly to catch up with friends and whānau. She watches the news and Māori television and loves Netflix. She follows influencer How To Dad on Facebook and YouTube, and she is really concerned about her whānau's future. Our personas, although different, hold similar values and concerns. Over to you, Jay.
Thank you, Tanya. For our personas, we have developed a digital marketing strategy roadmap, which we will include the digital customer journey, evaluation and prioritization of channels, integrated digital marketing campaign, First Aid for Māori landing page, and success measures for our campaign. The digital customer journey uses the perspective of the persona to design the journey taken from unawareness of first aid training through the completion stage. It considers scenarios, behaviors, and potential strategies to support the persona on their journey to well-being. Here we have a detailed journey of Sam's customer journey. After experiencing an accident with his nana, he realizes that he needs to learn some skills to help him be able to support his nana should this happen again. As we will discuss in further detail in the following sections, Sam recalls seeing something on TikTok about first aid training for Māori and is keen to get enrolled and take some of his whānau with him. We've touched on some of the barriers based on statistics earlier presented and have supported an increased likelihood of attendance by removing the barriers of cost, simplifying the enrollment process, and incorporated Māori to ensure participation, partnership, and protection. We've identified the digital business opportunities and discussed these in more detail shortly. Whaia Maya's journey is very similar to Sam's. She just has more life experience that adapts to some of the situations more easily. As a mother, she cares for her children, and after experiencing a child choking at her work, she's keen to learn how to respond in these situations. Whaia Maya recalls seeing her favorite influencer doing a video on TikTok. Over to you, Harper.
Thanks, Jay. In our evaluation and prioritization of channels, Google Trends shows a clear increase in TikTok search in the past 3 years, whilst Instagram flat and Facebook reduced. However, this increase could be due to the rising trend of TikTok, and with Facebook already having 2.74 billion users, it's unsurprising there is not a dramatic increase in search. Facebook is the clear channel of choice of Whaia Maya, with St. John already having a Facebook page. The connection between this new campaign and St. John New Zealand will support achieving our UVP of helping Māori live long, health, happier lives through first aid training for Māori. Why we choose the channels? TikTok is coming. Data analyze platforms statista the average TikTok user is from 13 to 24 years old, making it the ideal channel to reach Generation Z. And according to the Forbes magazine, it was downloaded 850 million times in 2020. Again, Facebook continued to be the biggest social media internationally with 2.74 billion active users per month. 25 to 34 age group are the heaviest user of the platform, spending an average of 50 minutes per day on the platform. And Facebook advertising is cost-effective in the education industry when comparing cost per click and conversion rates of the all-industry group. How can influencer marketing support St. John? Influencer Marketing Hub complete a survey of over 5,000 people from a range of backgrounds in 2021. Their research shows 90% of respondents believe influencer marketing to be an effective form of marketing. Their research has also shown that the influencer marketing industry is expected to grow from 9.78 billion in 2020 to 30.8 billion in 2021, based on the growth rate in the last 5 years. Also, research from Metenham and Vietnam has shown favorable brand post impacts from influencer marketing. Three areas are supported by influencers are: first, legitimacy; second, press media; and third, activations. So then, how did we collect all of what we have learned so far about our personas, the journey, the challenges, and the channel mix into an integrated digital marketing campaign for St. John? Now, let me walk you through the campaign. This will be a 3-month campaign divided into the 3 awareness, consideration, and decision phase. The name of the campaign will be How to Save a Life and will feature video content made by Jordan Winston of How to Diet fame. We choose this approach because we want to use an influencer campaign to generate awareness quickly about the Molly First Aid program. In the awareness stage, the Rangatahi cohort will be targeted by How to Save a Life content delivered over TikTok. We choose this channel as video content appeals to Molly, but more importantly, it's very easy to share to other channels. The Vangata cohort will be served longer form video content via boosted Facebook posts and a Facebook carousel ad. Engagement and sharing are key objects at this stage. In the consideration and decision stage, our paid channel will then be optimized to lead generation, clicking through to a landing page designed for Molly. In the consideration stage, we will begin an AdWord campaign pushing traffic to the landing page. We will run a remarketing campaign targeting leads that did not sign up during earlier phases of the campaign. An in-house St. John team will follow up with the phone campaign to ensure that leads have enrolled and paid for the course, and also to remind them the program is going to start in a week's time. To ensure consistency and appropriateness in our approach, we have created guidelines around what we would like to communicate and levers demonstrating how we would communicate through our digital channels and touchpoints. Within our social media campaign, our guidelines are to, first, remain real and authentic. This is core value to Molly. Second, use Molly influencer. We all have an unconscious bias to listen directly from people who look and sound like us. Third, humorous to draw people in. Fourth, use hooks to help with stickability. And last but not least, use simple language and incorporate real Molly, ensuring captivation. Within our functional campaign, which includes website and Google search, our guidelines are to, first, minimize text, optimize words used. Second, ensure it's visually appealing and simple to use. The levers will use simple set architecture and images of Molly people. Furthermore, for the high-level approach, we have also provided examples for your perusal. And pass back to you, Jay.
Thank you, Harper. Our main goal is getting Moldies such our personas to sign up for first aid training and to also build brand awareness around first aid training and Moldy communities. We are striving for our persona to trust in St. John and give first aid training a go. Making the first aid training very clear and easy for our personas to sign up, making the personas feel welcomed and proud for taking their first step for first aid training. One of our main strategies used to target our personas is influencer marketing on specific and different channels for each persona. Sam, who represents the younger generation, will be targeted through TikTok. Fire Maya represents the middle-aged adults and will be targeted through Facebook. We have chosen these channels for each persona as we believe this is their preferred social media platform to interact with friends and whānau while also enjoying content from their favorite influencers. Our influencer chosen is Jordan Watson, or How to Dad, who produces organic content while also being hilarious and easy to watch. We considered mocking up a script for How to Dad to follow, but decided that he produces videos that are so authentic that we do not want it to come across as too staged. Instead, we have opted to provide How to Dad with guidelines and do's and don'ts for the videos he produces for St. John. We want his audience to believe that first aid training is important through authentic communication. This type of content we would like for him to create to be lighthearted, funny, but also highlighting the importance of first aid training. The use of influencers can help spread brand awareness while also having a huge impact on their massive following. Rangatahi Sam will be targeted through 6 short TikTok clips, and Fire Maya will be targeted through Facebook videos. As discussed earlier, these are their 2 platforms they prefer. The call to action we have also chosen for our carousel ads is Learn More. These carousel ads will then, along with the videos created, be directed to our persona and will help lead them to our landing page to sign up for first aid training. Over to you, Danny.
Thank you, Jay. We want to stand in Maoli community's point of view, output simple and attractive content, and in line with what can be reached by SEO. The goal we want to achieve in SEO is to achieve as many clicks as possible to boost the conversion rate in St. John's first aid training for Maoli. So now we come to the landing page. Why do we need a landing page for this campaign? This was the goal of the digital marketing campaign to drive traffic to enroll in the first aid training for Maoli program, enhancing protective factors for Maoli well-being. The digital marketing strategy aims to direct Maoli to enroll in the first aid training to support ease of enrollment and understanding. It's important to develop a landing page specifically for this. This page can be embedded within St. John, New Zealand's website. The meta description will support SEO for first aid for Maoli. So the landing page communicates the program offering that includes the purpose of the program specifically for Maoli. We have kept the text minimal and highlight St. John's strategic aims, which would be of value to Maoli. We have also kept the St. John's brand the same colors and include images of Maoli people. Further down this page, we have highlighted the program locations with dates and spaces for bookings. This preemption of program offering provides ease and security of booking with our persona's availability and location. So now I'll pass to Shan.
Thanks, Danny. I'm going to talk about success measures now. So the overall campaign goal is to achieve 50 students in the first class. To achieve this, the campaign has been divided into 2 phases over 3 months. The first phase is an awareness campaign on social media. Our TikTok and Facebook carousel advertising are intended to get the word out into our target community using influencer campaigns. We will boost TikTok and Facebook into the Māori community using demographic segmentation and hope to achieve 50,000 impressions, a 5% overall engagement rate, and 400 shares. Then the second phase is a 2-month extension, and this time optimized towards conversion. We will include a CTA in the social media advertising, pushing towards our landing page, where we hope to achieve 3,000 unique visits with a click-through rate of 0.73% and 219 conversions. In this phase, we will also kick off search advertising on AdWords. We're aiming for 5,000 impressions with a CTR of 3%, which should yield 150 leads. We're aiming for a CPC of $2.40. And these figures are coming to us from WordStream benchmarks for the industry, for the education industry. In this phase, we'll be pushing traffic towards our new landing page, hoping for 5,000 page views with a goal completion rate of 4% and a bounce rate of less than 60%. We're aiming to have a total of 200 students fill in our form. Conversion activities will then take place with our call center following up with phone calls through to the 200 course registrants. We will send them an email to register for the program, and we believe that we will have at least 70 students enrolled, which should yield 50 students onto the first night of the course. And here's the budget. So this is how our $20,000 budget will be allocated. We've dedicated $2,000 for a payment to Jordan Watson. We're aware that it's a pretty low sum, but we're hopeful that he will volunteer his time pro bono. So this Māori proverb refers to the necessity of cooperation and sharing of resources for progress. So on to considerations now of the broader impact of some of these newer technologies. It's important to note that Māori live with digital disadvantage. According to the Department of Internal Affairs, a Māori home is 16% less likely to have access to internet. For many families, digital devices and internet access are just unaffordable. Cultural considerations. Māori have been late adopters of email and video conferencing. Māori tikanga does not embrace AI. Some are concerned about robots stealing Māori or life force. There are ethical considerations too. Māori consider data, particularly personal data, as a taonga. Data contains a part of people, no matter how anonymized it is. Any AI or AR systems should be built with Indigenous spirituality or well-being in mind. Māori remain suspicious of digital channels and of sharing their data. So we recommend that these technologies are best used by the younger segment, particularly in social media where data is not shared. The technology is more likely to be embraced in the learning setting. The other day, Suru Fernando says that we should be looking at using technology to improve the moment in people's lives. We believe it's best used to enhance the learning experience. Using AI to reduce friction in customer journeys is still really risky with this group. We recommend that we use AR tools to illustrate body functions and systems to bring first aid training to life, forgive the pun, and improve engagement with learning. Now, St. John Victoria are already using virtual reality headsets in their first aid training. In the context of first aid training for Māori, we believe that it could be used to complement the live training and deliver a greater level of comprehension of body systems and mechanics. Learning will be more memorable, and if the technology is built into a phone app, it would also be shareable. Ultimately, we think it would attract more Māori to enroll for the courses. Okay. And now we're going to come to our final recommendations. So we've divided these recommendations into 3 sections. First of all, the short-term goals. So under the Māori Responsiveness Unit, recruit cultural knowledge and Māori health experts as part of the Strategic Advisory Board for the development of the Āwhina Tuatahi First Aid Training for Māori specific program. Partner with authentic Māori influencers with long-standing positive reputations, for example, How to Dad, and also to use video and influencer marketing to increase awareness of Āwhina Tuatahi. And build out a community landing page for Māori and build relationships for funding. The midterm goals to pilot the Āwhina Tuatahi program to really get some momentum with that, to continue to raise awareness of the program, to build a community subdomain, community.stjohn.org.nz, and begin developing a page for Pacifica, build community relationships with Pacifica communities, and replicate the Āwhina Tuatahi program with this community. Also continue to build relationships for funding. And our long-term goals to continue to build out the community subdomains with pages dedicated to other vulnerable communities, to incorporate the option for English or native languages, to secure long-term funding based on evaluation feedback, and decrease rates of MPI mortality. So, thank you very much for the opportunity to present a potential new digital marketing strategy for St. John, New Zealand. We hope you agree that the strategy will deliver favourable outcomes to a particularly vulnerable community and that it will support Māori to live longer, healthier, happier lives.